All right, good morning again. This is Kelly Ramsey with Developing People. Our connection was real bad, so I had to come out and turn off notifications and try and come back in. So, our topic today is Transformation Tuesday, and we are talking about the power of exfoliating and why you need to exfoliate. So as I was saying before I got cut off, I was sharing that I had a photo shoot at the beginning of the month, and our makeup artist, Imogene Dent, who is amazing, told us to prepare for it by exfoliating prior to the makeup session, and then that was going to help our photo shoot. And so I always exfoliate, not always, but when I'm being good, I exfoliate my face. So I use a scrub and you get all the impurities off. But she told us to exfoliate our lips. And I was like, oh, you exfoliate your lips? Hey, Latara. And so I started, of course, figuring out, she's like, yep, like I didn't know that. And so she told us to use a little bit of salt and Vaseline, and you just rub it on your lips, and you remove the impurities and buildup and whatnot. Because like we put lipstick on, lip gloss, you don't think like, oh, I'll wash my face, I'll wipe that off. But there's still things that are underlying, right? Yes, good morning. And so this is the second take, Latara, so this must be really important. And so me being who I am with my mind and imagination, I can take anything and make it a story. And so I get a lesson in everything I do, which is great, and also probably not so great because you can get like sidetracked. But anyway, we're going to share this story. Yes, I can. And so as we were doing it, me and one of my other friends, Monica. And so I did mines, like I did all mines, the whole thing, right? And I was like, man, I should have did one lip so I could show the difference with the other and see what the difference was. So when Monica did hers, I said, do one lip so you can see what the difference and really tell. So what happened is that you could feel how smooth it was, and you could feel how ease, like the makeup would go on because you had already exfoliated. You had removed the barriers and things that were underneath so that you had a smooth surface to work with. So I have been like marinating on this for a month. And I thought about how in transformation, sometimes we don't get the fullness of a transformation because we haven't exfoliated. We haven't removed all of the residue of the past experience, of the night before, of whatever it is. And so we're trying to transform, and we're trying to put this new thing, like God says you can't put new wine into old vessels. Yeah, oh my God. So you can't put new wine into old vessels because the vessels will burst because they can't hold. The same thing is true when we exfoliate our lives and we remove all of the residue. Then we can begin to apply the principles of God. We can begin to apply things that are going to move us forward. And so we would develop not on a surface that is already marred, but we develop on a surface that's clear. So it gives me the analogy of how God took, again, the clay, and he made us into another vessel. He didn't take the clay and discard it. He didn't, yes, get the trash out your mind. Yes. Girl, that's another one. I may have to. He didn't take the clay and just say, oh, that's no good, throw it away, we can't use that anymore. He took the clay and he worked all the impurities, but it was still the same clay, just removed all those impurities. So you exfoliate it, right? And then he formed it. But the process of that only works when we do it. So yeah, the photo shoot was great. Makeup was awesome, off the chain. But then I didn't go back into that every day to do that same thing because I didn't get the results of it. So what? I got build up again. That's our lives. So if we're not doing the work that we need to do every single day to exfoliate ourselves, give ourselves back to a pure state so God can then build on it. And we're picking up more residue, more residue, more residue. Do you realize you have to dig out of all that residue before you can even get the full benefit of what you're doing? So that's my question for you today. What residue you have remaining? And are you doing the work to remove the residue that's there? It's freezing. What residue do you have remaining? And are you doing the work so that you can build on there? So again, Proverbs, the stories, God says, a master builder considers how he goes to build. He doesn't just start building on a surface that hasn't been developed, right? If he hasn't developed that surface, he does not go to begin building on that place. First, he develops the surface. He develops the foundation of what's going to be, the building is going to be on. Then he goes about to the building. Then he goes about to choose the processes and the pieces that are going to be, the structures that are going to be erected on that building. And so it worries me because as a prophet of the Lord, I see the buildings going up, but I don't see the foundations being built. Hey, good morning, Deb. I don't see the foundations being built to sustain what's going up. So we keep having this leakage, right? So you have your building, your foundation, brand new. We have a brand new building at work. And so now they're discovering all these leakages because they did not do the things that were necessary to ensure that the building was sustained. And what will happen is that you will lose the entire building. You will lose your entire life. You will lose entire seasons if we're not willing to exfoliate and to really deal with the things that lie from underneath. And so that's my Transformation Tuesday this morning. So transformation is not always pretty, right? It doesn't always look like, oh, look, here's my before and after, right? Sometimes transformation is ugly because it makes us have to undig some of those things. And so when you wipe off that exfoliated mouth or lips or face, you look at, I know I do, I look at the towel or the Kleenex and I'm like, oh my God, that was still on my face, but I had already washed it. So why is there still red? We didn't exfoliate. But when we exfoliate, we remove all of those masses. So as you go about, yes, transformation is good for us. As you go about your day, I want you to think about that. Think about and ponder on. Think about it personally first, for you. Because we're in ministry, we're in service, we're parents and grandmothers and taking care of children and people and bosses and leaders. But if I go about into my day, and I've already did the work that I need to do for me, the outcome is going to be so much different and so much greater. And then I can pour that into the people that I serve. So as you go about your life today, the Transformation Tuesday is knowing the power of exfoliating. I know. You're like, how did she tie all that together? That's my gift. That's what God gives me. The ability to take absolutely nothing and like, oh, wow, that was an awesome story. Hey, but now, thank you. So now I'm going to learn how to get paid for that, right? I'm going to monetize that ability. And so keep watching and keep tuning in. Again, this is Kelly Ramsey with Developing People. We help you, yes, life application. You're welcome. Thank you. We help you to discover the greatness that already lies within you, to develop your ideas, your dreams, your talents, whatever it is that you need to have developed. And not only to develop it, but to launch it. Because we can't develop the product and then put it on the shelf, right? So have an awesome day. And I'm going to go do the same. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye. Thank you. I'm going to smile at you till it stops.